destroy type of fighter.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports and Gaming. Apologies first of all for the quality of the sound. We are not at home, we're away, and so therefore we wanted to do the stream for you, but where we are at the moment, the quality of the sound and the equipment we use is not as good as we would usually use, so apologies from the get-go regarding this sound of this particular video. But by the way, we wanted to make sure that we were in the room, in the house, and gave us our opinion on how the fight between Adam Kownacki and Robert Helenius ended. Let's take this from the top here. Most of you on this channel will know my thoughts of Danny Brown. Glad you're in the room. You're the perfect person to be talking to here. Adam Kownacki. I said to you before about Adam Kownacki, Danny Brown. So you're a perfect example as a person. I said to you about him. When you fight with your face, eventually you will get tagged and knocked out. There's no doubt about it. You move up in class against guys who can punch and have better boxing ability than you, you will get knocked out. And I said, and I kept talking about Kownacki. I said, listen, Kownacki goes anywhere near Wilder, he'll get actually destroyed. And it probably been better for Wilder to have gone and fought Kownacki than fought Tyson Fury. He'll be champion today. That being said, this fight with Kownacki and Helenius, that was some terrible matchmaking. Terrible matchmaking for Kownacki's people, great matchmaking for Helenius' people. Like this. People say, well, Helenius is crap. I don't agree with people. I don't agree with you. Because Helenius, on his way up through the heavyweight division, he was being touted, the Nordic Nightmare, he was being touted as the next guy next to Klitschko's. People have got a short memory about Helenius. He was the guy touted as next to Klitschko's. He was knocking people out left, right, people were falling all over the place. Helenius was the next big thing, alright? Fought Derek Chisora on that night, and a lot of people thought that Chisora won the fight against Helenius. And that's where the cracks started to show. I do believe Helenius had some contractual issues, and then he had, stuck in a contract or something like that. From what I remember, it's a long time ago. He had some contractual issues. He wasn't well, all the rest of it. And of course, this happens in a fighter's career where they can go up and down, lackluster performances, changing trainers or changing patients and stuff like that. So I'm not making excuses for Helenius. He's a boxer like anybody else. But to just dismiss Robert Helenius for the ability he had as an amateur, and he's a bit upright, and but he can box, and he's got a good right hand on him. Now to put him in the ring with Kownacki, right? Kownacki straight up, doesn't move his head, moves in straight lines, catches punches on his chin like a goalkeeper. That's an accident. He was an accident waiting to happen. Danny Brown says Helenius was coming off bad form, so this is a bad loss for Kownacki. Helenius got KO'd by Washington. Yeah, Washington's terrible. He's garbage, absolute garbage. Washington fights the same way every fight. All he does, as soon as you put Joe Washington on the back foot, you throw punches at him, he gets knocked out. I'll say it in the commentary anyway. But Helenius, I've got time for Robert Helenius. And he's still, you may laugh at me, this guy Helenius could still sneak in and become heavyweight champion of the world. He's one of them type of guys you've got to be careful of, because he can punch, he's long, he's rangy, he's got boxing ability. And if he's one of those guys that I don't believe he would go on to become a long-standing world champion, but I can definitely see him sneaking in and becoming a world champion. One of them like WBA regular belt sort of thing holders. Helenius is a guy you got to watch, but watch him carefully. Because he's got a good right hand on him, he can box a bit. Helenius is no mug. Helenius is no mug. And anybody who thinks of Helenius as a mug, well, then, you are in the category of people that believe that the Kownacki fight was a shock. The fight was no shock. I was no shock because Kownacki wasn't that good anyway. He was never that good. right? People are hoping on lot of the a wing, a hope, and a prayer. Kownacki, but it was nothing he did that I thought was great. Very, very average, basic boxer. Now he will learn the lesson. I hope he's learned the lesson. You cannot fight in the heavyweight division with your chin up in the air, fighting like a goalkeeper, because you will get knocked out. Unless you've got a chin like Rocky Marciano or I don't know, George Chuvalo, or I don't know, you know, chin like Tyson. You really, even in, you really, you know, you really wouldn't want to be sticking your chin in the air against guys like Robert Helenius, who will take it off for you. So this is not just a heavyweight division. Any division, any fighter likes to fight with their head, fight with their face. Don't use the gloves to block punches. They will get knocked out. So take this in, Danny Brown, right, as your boxing 101, and you're supporting fighters. If they have no defense, they fight with their face. If you see them catching punches with their face at lower level against guys that are not very good, you can be guaranteed that when they step up to the top level, they're going to get absolutely smashed. That happens. Sorry, if you're getting tagged with big punches in a domestic level, or at levels where on domestic level you're getting caught up with punches with guys that you should be blown over in 1 or 2 rounds, and you're getting dog fights with them. That's a telltale sign that you're 1 or 2 fights away from a good beating as you step up. That's it. You just gotta be brutally honest. You cannot, in the heavyweight division, in particular, percentage game. The less punches you take, and the more punches you give. You understand? One punch can change your whole career around. But one punch, you can say to any division, particularly the heavyweight division. You can't go in there with your chin up in the air, walking in straight lines into punches. You're going to get knocked out, right? So you may have thought your chin was good. You got a rude awakening. So for Helenius, listen, I want Helenius to stay in shape. I want him to keep fighting. You know who I'd like to see Helenius fight? I'm joking. You know I'd like to see Helenius fight? I'd like him to go and fight Dave Allen. That's a fight I'd like to see. Robert Helenius, Dave Allen. I'd watch that fight. Robert Helenius. I would. Robert Helenius needs confidence. You know what happens in this game of boxing? What I've noticed is that guys who suffer 3 or 4 losses, they get completely discounted. It's this Mayweather era of people that if you lose a fight, you're suddenly discounted. But you know, some fighters, when they lose 2, 3 fights, become better fighters because they learn from their mistakes. They have no pressure on them being an unbeaten fighter anymore, and nobody's expecting them to. Kownacki's young. They don't make excuses about the guy's young, but it don't make a difference. He's just young. So what? He's young. What does that mean? What statement is that he's young? That's not rectifying the issue. That's not addressing the issue. That's just an excuse. That's a blatant excuse. I don't give a damn if he was in line for a title shot, Danny Brown. Ultimately, this is about boxing. Hit and not get hit. That's what it's about. If you decide to, if you want to use your chin as a goalkeeper and stop shots like a goalkeeper, then maybe you should be boxing. So I don't make excuses about Kownacki. Listen, the guy's just not good enough, and that's it. He's not technically he's not good enough at this present moment in time. And if you had fought Wilder, if that's what Helenius did to him, imagine what Wilder would have done to him. And did I not tell you this from day one about Kownacki? Did I not tell you when you kept rating up Kownacki, and all these Eastern European fighters you like jumping up and down about? Did they get punched in the mouth squarely by somebody who can punch them back in his experience? I don't hear anything about these guys. I don't hear nothing about them. Herkovich and the other guy with the big head. I don't hear nothing about them. So they fight someone decent, punch them back in the face. Yeah, Huey Fury is young. That was one. Until they get punched back in the mouth hard by somebody who means business. I'm not interested. That is for anybody in any weight division, but particularly in the heavyweight division, where if you can take a punch, it does matter. Right? I don't hear nothing about until you gets hit by somebody who means business, or you know that their career's on the line and they're not prepared to take a fall. when they get hit on the square in the jaw by a guy who's got some sort of reputation, some sort of amateur background, some sort of, even if they lost a few fights, guys like Helenius are dangerous. They are dangerous. As you've seen here, it's about matchups. This stylistically was a bad matchup for Adam Kownacki. A guy who throws straight punches. When you look at Helenius on his way up, he was being touted as the next heavyweight after Klitschko's. That's how high people were rating Robert Helenius. He's had some misfortune and some bad nights, sure. But if you go in the history of heavyweight boxing, how many heavyweight fighters do I know who've had bad nights and not been very good and gone on to become heavyweight champion of the world? Never mean heavyweight champion of the world. Look at people like Glenn Johnson, Bernard Hopkins. People like Bernard Hopkins would have been totally dismissed in this era because he lost a fight, and I said, rubbish. This guy is what legendary status. Bernard Hopkins. Look at this guy, Lomachenko. He got beat by Salido. In all honesty, hypocritical or contradictory. He loses a fight, but yet he's pound for pound in the top 1 or 2 in the world. Lomachenko. And he's lost one fight against Salido. And Salido will never go down as a Hall of Fame great. So, to me, it's all contrary. There's fickle stuff. But I don't care about the amount of fights a guy loses. To me, it's not about if he loses fights. It's whether he goes back to the drawing board and he improves. He makes subtle adjustments. Put it this way: if Joshua and Helenius fought, and Helenius hit Joshua with the right hand on the chin, who's putting money that Joshua could stand up to that power of Helenius? Helenius can punch, he can box. I'm not saying Helenius beats Joshua, but I'm saying to you, Helenius has got power. Helenius has got power, right? He's got power and he can box. Helenius is no mug. People are talking like Helenius is a mug. Helenius is a good fighter. And I always respect Robert Helenius. Yeah, he got beat by Derek Chisora. He got hustled by Chisora at night. Chisora was hot that night. Right, Chisora was hot that night when he fought Helenius. It's one of Chisora's best performances. And at the time, Helenius looked in better shape than usual. That's it. And these heavyweights, you've got to be careful. Some of these heavyweights, they mature late on. Not like the welterweights or the middleweights. Heavyweights mature. They're 35, 36, 37, 38. They get better as they get older, these heavyweights. Careful for these guys. They get, and the last thing a heavyweight loses is their punch. Robert Helenius, keep an eye on this boy. Keep an eye on him still. Keep an eye on him. I'm not telling him saying he's going to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, but just keep an eye on him. He is one right hand away, and he can do it. He's got a decent jab. He's got a good right hand. He's one right hand away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world, and it's possible. In this area, it's possible. Him fighting Manwar Shah, beats Manwar Shah, becomes heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, Helenius, Andy Ruiz. You just don't know. Look, Andy Ruiz, not a lot of people expect Andy Ruiz to beat Joshua. You understand? So, but Helenius, don't write this guy off. Don't write him off. Just because a guy's got a loss, it's not a death sentence. Guy comes in good shape. So we've seen Helenius in shape, mentally ready, and prepared. Look what he does to Kownacki. Blows him out in 4 rounds. Blows him away in 4 rounds. To me, that's what I look at and I think to myself, okay, alright, let's see if we can manage him. What can you do after this, Helenius? What can you give us after this? Who else can you knock off in the heavyweight division? I'd like to see Helenius fight the guy. That Joy's fought, and the guy that just fought a Jaguar. I'd like to see Helenius fight him. Anybody Helenius can put a jab on and use that boxing ability on, I'd like to see that fight. See, Joseph Parker, here's another one. He's another one who don't learn at the moment. right? Parker's another one. Parker's got to learn from his defeats. Is he learning how to block a left hook? I don't know. Got to learn from your mistakes. You've got to make improvements. You've got to keep going off your defeats. Helenius is a good fighter. I'm not having anybody tell me Helenius is a bum because he's not a bum. I told you Kownacki wasn't very good, so that's where I see that. That's how I see that situation. So that's cannon. That guy was cannon fodder for Wilder. Absolute cannon fodder. I don't care what weight Kownacki was. I don't care if he came in his best weight ever. He still got knocked out. He said his newborn stopped him sleeping well and recover. Yeah? Okay. Alright. So what would he done different with his head? How is Helenius Joshua's Mando? I thought WBA super champions don't get mandatories. Keith Thurman comes to mind. I don't know. They make the rules up, innit? So, it's one way of delaying an Usyk fight, innit? One way of delaying an Usyk fight. Oh, Joshua would have fought Usyk, but he's got a mandatory to come. He's got a mandatory to face now against Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius put in a great performance against Kownacki. He was a top 10 contender. So now Joshua's got to fulfill his mandatory. Wait for it. Fulfill his mandatory. The bullshit was coming. The bullshit was coming. I don't have to tell you how this boxing game works. He's got to fulfill his mandatories. Kubrat Pulev, he's got to fulfill his mandatories. But what about Dillian Whyte getting his mandatory to challenge for Fields? What about that? Talking about everybody has to fulfill their mandatories, and Joshua's got to fulfill his mandatory. Why don't you mandatory get Dillian Whyte to get his mandatory? Huh? He's got to fulfill his mandatory. Full of crap, I told you. So, are you honestly telling me, honestly, as a boxing supporter, yeah, or boxing fan, that you believe that Kownacki had lost weight and he came in the best shape of his career? You're telling me he would have got away from Helenius' right hand? Is that what you're trying to tell me? He would have come and danced around the ring like Muhammad Ali? No. He may have lasted a few more rounds and taken a worse beating. So, don't make excuses, Kownacki. You're always trying to block punches with your face. An accident waiting to happen. So, it's like that. It's brutal. It's savage what I'm saying, but it's not like I'm not telling you something that I didn't say beforehand. So, that's another career ruined. Eddie has no intention of getting White a title shot. He's just dangling the pay-per-view carrot to keep Dillian stated. That's it. Dillian could have fought Pulev for his mandatory to be there. Why? Alright. Who did Kubrat Pulev fight to get his mandatory? Who did Kubrat Pulev fight? Hughie Fury? Come on, man. Behave yourself. Why should Dillian Whyte fight Kubrat Pulev? Who's Kubrat Pulev for? Tamir Peter and no disrespect, Hughie Fury. I'm not disrespecting Hughie Fury here. Who's Kubrat Pulev for? Kevin Johnson. Is that the way for mandatory? Is it? Come on, man. Talking rubbish about Dillian Whyte should have fought Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev should have fought someone like Joseph Parker. He's top rank, isn't he? So, Kubrat Pulev should fight somebody decent. They're not going to do that. Kubrat Pulev's hanging around for the payday. That's why I look at it. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Again, sorry, apologies for the sound quality. I'm not at home at the moment. I'm away, but I just want to make sure that I did this video. And the accident, as I say, the accident waiting to happen, happened. Fight with your face. Boxing is about hit and not get hit. Choose to engage in the sport of boxing and ignore the laws and the rules of the boxing gods and fight with your face. decide to use your face stopping shots like a goalkeeper, you will get knocked out. Thank you so much for watching BWTN Sports and Gaming. We'll see you soon. The accident waiting to happen just happened. See you soon.